Meatheads everywhere have been asking, Chef Pat really kickflipped the South High 5-stair back in '03?
All right. My ankle was broken. I heard it snap, dude. I felt it snap.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh my big old bag of dicks. Do we got a good one for you today, meatheads? We're doing wild game chili. This is a special episode because we're not just cooking and eating one animal. We're gonna cook and eat 3 different kinds of animals. We have wild boar, and just a PSA, everybody should be eating more wild boar. There's like 400 billion wild boars running around the United States and Canada right now, and they're destroying everything, and we can't kill them and eat them fast enough. So if you're out there, write to your city councilman, demand more wild boar meat on store shelves, and demand it to be dirt cheap, because we gotta start eating more wild boars. Up next, we got venison. That's deer meat. Venison, deer, stickheads, they go by many names, but they're one of the healthiest, leanest animals that you could eat. This, however, this is elk meat. Delicious, dark, beautiful elk meat. And I'm pretty proud to say I got this elk myself this year. I didn't hunt it. On a hike, I found it sitting on a log, and I just thought to myself, hey, lucky me. So these 3 animal meats combined, we're gonna make some wild game chili. I am very excited about this. Chili is one of my favorite things to make. I bake it a lot for cold football days. Just big bowl of chili with a bunch of stuff on it. Watching grown men roll around the ground together. It's one of my favorite things to do. There are a lot of ways to make chili. There's all kinds of regional chilies. Chili from Texas, I think they're the no bean chili. Cincinnati skyline chili over pasta. Weird, but I'm into it. Every state's got their own chili, whatever. I don't give a hoot. I'm making Chef Pat chili. If you don't like it, just hit that like and subscribe button. There'll be another round of chili sometime. Let's work this out together. I'm a people pleaser. I just want you to like me. All right, let's get going here. First, we're gonna chop all these vegetables and get them into the pot cooking down. This season, one of our new sponsors is Knife Saga Knives. They've been kind enough to provide us with a whole set of knives they want us to use. One cool thing about Knife Saga that I already like is that they have a knife sharpener right here in the corner of their knife block, which is pretty cool, huh? Let's see if it works on Old Faithful over here. Not bad. But we're gonna use their 8-inch chef knife. So we're just gonna chop all this stuff up real fast, and then we're gonna throw it in the pot, and we're gonna saute it all. Ooh, oh, Knife Saga. Pretty sharp. When you wanna see how sharp a knife is, don't touch it and like slice your finger, because that's dumb. But you can scrape it along your finger. And the more it kind of like has that scrapey feel, usually the sharper it is. So these are sharp knives. That's one good thing. One good thing about these Knife Saga knives too is that they're all one piece. I have these old kitchen knives, the kitchen knives I've had my entire career, and they're 2 pieces. And I can't use these in professional kitchens anymore because food could potentially get built up in these 2 spots. Part of the secret sauce, you know, add a little extra flavor. But these are solid 1-piece knives. So these are absolutely perfect for working in professional kitchens. So we're gonna, oh, pretty sharp. All right, let's see how this goes. Dang, you guys, actually, that's pretty good. Don't worry, you're still my favorite, Old Faithful. Such a good knife. All right, then we'll get to this butt. I usually cut this in half, and then I flop it down like that, and then we'll just chop it up and give us a pretty even dice without really wasting any of the onion. So for 3 pounds, we'll probably use this whole onion. First mistake, Knife Saga. Didn't cut all the way through. Oh, yeah, you did. So there's our big pile of onion. Cut up this bell pepper. Some people don't like to put bell peppers in their chili. I do. I like it. I like the peppery flavor, so I'm gonna, and I don't really care what you think. Guts. Chop this up. Dang, dude, I gotta say, Knife Saga, I'm liking these knives. One good thing about these knives too is they're really light, almost intimidatingly light. It doesn't feel like it's gonna cut through and then it just slices right through. I'm pretty impressed, Knife Saga. This has gotta be like elvish steel. So we'll probably do like 4 or 5 cloves of garlic with it. Like little baby garlic's being born. Hey, there you are, and there, little guy. Come on out, don't be afraid. I like it garlic, 6 big ones. So we got our garlics all peeled and just kind of roughly smashed, so we don't need to do too much of these, we just give them a rough chop here. It's totally fine, because this is all just gonna cook down. And it's nice to have some chunks of garlic in there. So it's starting to already smell. Even without cooking, you're starting to smell all the garlic and pepper and onion just kind of starting to rise up out of this cutting board. Garlic everywhere. And last but not least, for the vegetable portion of this show, we are going to add in 1 spicy jalapeno. And we're going to leave the ribs and seeds in because we want the spice. I got into a fight on TikTok with a guy arguing about the seeds of the of jalapenos being spicy or not. The seeds themselves technically aren't spicy if you want to get into technicalities or whatever. However, they sit inside the ribs of the chilies, and that is where all the spicy stuff is. And so the seeds are coated in capsaicin, which is the spicy thing. So the seeds are spicy. So shut the hell up. We only have 1 jalapeno for 3 pounds of meat. So we're gonna keep the seeds in so we get extra jalapeno flavor and the spice will balance out. I like the flavor of jalapeno, a little bit of heat of jalapeno without necessarily overpowering it, just getting too crazy spicy. I like a good balance of flavors. Cooking meat PSA, please wash your hands after you touch jalapenos, because if you touch your body parts, it's gonna suck. We're gonna get our hot pot. Game meats are pretty lean. They're not fattened up like on farms. They eat just grass and leaves and fucking whatever the fuck they eat out there. When you have ground wild game like this, they add pork fat or beef or something to kind of beef it up a little bit. This is pure. This is not cut with anything. This is 100% deer, elk, and wild boar. So we're gonna add a lot of tallow. We wanna make up for the lack of fat and grease in those meats. This is the tallow we made from the tallow episodes, meatheads. I don't know if you saw the episode when it was golden, but look, it was just cooked down to nice, solid, lardy tallow. Listen, who do you want cooking your food? A stoner who loves to eat and loves delicious things? Or some fucking stick up his ass culinary school graduate who probably went to college too? Not that I'm jealous. You want the stoner guy. You want the stoner dishwasher who became a chef cooking your food. Ooh, the heat was high to get the tallow hot and rendered down. I turned it down to low because we're gonna do some things while this kind of cooks down. It's extra tallowy because we're really gonna fry these mothers up. Oh yeah. So this tallow is gonna add a little bit of fat to this wild game chili. That's what we want. Look at that, dude, that's beautiful. So we took this down low and we're gonna let this kind of just chill and do its thing. We don't wanna roast it too much. You know I like to burn things, but we'll really cook them down. We'll make them nice and soft, suavecito, suavecito. So one of the tricks to the chili is to mix in all the seasonings with the raw meat before you throw it in there. Instead of like what I normally do, throw it all in there and then I'll throw the seasonings and mix it up myself or whatever. But this just kind of fortifies that chili flavor. So we're gonna put our deer, we're gonna put in my elk that I found, and I'm gonna put in this wild boar, scourge of the nation. And then we're gonna wash our hands again. Oh, a squirrel. 2 main ingredients for chili. And some it's debated, but this 2 I like to put in are cumin and chili powder. Obviously chili powder, because, you know, chili. And then we're gonna add salt, obvi. I do like to add some paprika to my chili. Now, we got 3 pounds of meat, so we're gonna put a lot of shit in here. We're gonna add 1 part for every pound of meat, and it's gonna be even parts. Chili is a very spiced dish. It's not spicy necessarily, but spiced. Even parts throughout the whole thing. So we're gonna do a big part of salt, bah. Paprika, bah. Part of chili powder, oh yeah. Then add a part of cumin. I love cumin on food. So we will mix this up by hand. Don't be afraid to touch the food. Ah, feel the cumin all over the place. Dude, it already smells like chili. It just already smells like chili. The cumin and the chili powder together really gives it that specific chili flavor, the combo of those 2. Crank up the heat now. Tallow and vegetables. It's a jalapeno. It's the jalapeno and the garlic coming right out. We're gonna salt our veggies a little bit. Salt everything. Just put salt on everything. Salt in your All right, so we're getting close. These are just about soft enough. We'll probably get this 1 more minute. We're gonna add a little bit of tomato paste before we throw it in. It kind of brings out the sugar a little bit, a little sweeter. Delicious. Yeah, saute everything, man. Just cook stuff. Who cares? Who gives a shit about rules, right? Oh, I don't. The only rules you really need to follow is do not cook your steak over medium. Other than that, follow your heart. This is right where we wanna be. So in goes the meat. Cook this up a bit. Yeah, I really packed that into a ball in that bowl, so we gotta kind of loosen it up a little bit. But this is very well ground beef. You can tell because it's almost like, it's like mushy. In the grocery store, it's like big long strings of ground beef, whatever. Usually wild game is always ground, pretty fine. So this is gonna be pretty good. All right, I'm gonna let it do its thing. So the next, I think, like I said, I think in Texas they don't add beans. I think it's a no bean chili, but I like beans in my chili and I like pinto beans or black beans. But I didn't have any black beans in my pantry, so we're gonna go with pinto beans. You know I do not really like tomatoes, but it kinda gotta throw a can of diced tomatoes in chili. I usually eat around them because I'm a baby when it comes to tomatoes. You really gotta throw them in there. It really adds to that chili flavor, just like that tomato paste. Starting to cook up. Incorporate it all in there real nice. So this is just one way to change it up if you got some other stuff. The wild boar will add a little bit of different flavor to it because they don't eat just grass, they eat everything. They eat roots and shrubs and all this stuff. This wild boar was hunted wild, by the way, too, in Texas. So we're also getting rid of a problem by doing that, by adding some wild boar to your meat. Just a little something extra for your wild game if you got a bunch. You can do just straight elk chili or just venison chili or just wild boar stuff, but you know, hey, live a little bit. Come on, guys. It's cooking meat. We're just cooking it all the meat. Probably not gonna make it that many more seasons. I only got at least 2 or 3 more seasons before someone cancels me. So we're gonna try and cook as many animals as possible before this. So I figured Why not have a threesome in the cooking meat kitchen? Turn that down a little bit. Meat's not all the way cooked through. It's not probably 100% cooked through. We got maybe, 90% or whatever. There's still some raw bits in there. We're gonna chug it up. But now's a good time to kind of add some of the other stuff. So we're gonna add a whole can of crushed tomatoes. All right, we're gonna dump that whole thing in there. And like all that juice and stuff, like I said, I don't really like the chunks of tomatoes. That's not for me. But all that tomato water and tomato juice is gonna add a lot of flavor to the chili, and that's kind of what you want. So one in there. And you can already kind of see it kind of changes the texture and stuff. It's already looking a little more like chili. It's a little bit soupier. And we're gonna add beans to it. If you've ever worked with me in a restaurant, you know I love the bean water. The bean water has got tons of flavor because how they can stuff is they basically boil beans in water so that's sterilized and then can it and seal it. So that water, that bean water is full of flavor. This isn't a bean forward chili. I'm gonna pour it out, but we just don't need it for this. When we make a bean dish, we'll keep that bean water because it is delicious. Got a can of beans in there. I like black beans or pinto beans. Some people like kidney beans, some people like no beans. One of the cool things about making food like this, you can just kind of make it the way you want, man. The chili is just make it the way you fucking like it. So if you like beans, throw beans in there. If you don't put beans. If you like it super spicy, throw a ton of jalapenos in there. So then we're getting pretty close to this. And you can see as we keep cooking, it's starting to get more and more chili-like. We are gonna help it out a little bit and add a little bit of beef broth to the chili. So we're gonna add probably about a half a Ninja Turtles Kids Party Cup of beef broth to this. So yeah, it's gonna be a quarter of a kid's Ninja Turtles party cup. So now what we're gonna do is we're probably about 3/4 of the way done with this. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste a little bit of it. See if we need to add, I'm gonna guess because we added all the, the broth and the beans and all that stuff, we're gonna add a little more salt and stuff. It's pretty good though. We don't need to add too much more. We're gonna just add the chili powder because the salt is good. 1 teaspoon of chili powder, big one. 1 teaspoon of cumin. Add a cumin again. Perfect. I don't know why I got 2 different spoons, but there's only one thing you do when you got 2 spoons. Chili! All right, you guys, look at that. That looks like chili, you guys. That's starting to look like chili. So we're going to put the lid on it. We're gonna let this chili chill. Where them spoons at? We'll let this chill for like 20 minutes, let everything get together. In the meantime, we can just start to kind of get our toppings all set. So we're gonna do another little chopping demonstration with our Knife Saga knives. I love chef knives. I don't really like, I think they're called Santoku knives, but not my style of knife. I like a chef knife. They come with a Santoku knife, so we're gonna give it a shot. Santoku knife? Sudoku knife. I'm not gonna put chopped like red onion or white onion on top of it. There's a lot of onion in there, and I like green onions on my chili. If you like chopped onions on your chili, get after it, onion boy. Yeah, this is pretty nice. It's a pretty good knife. All right, even the Santoku knives are good. Damn it. You are really losing this fight, buddy. All right, not the best scraper. You still win at something, big guy. All right, then we're gonna chop some cilantro, and you know how I feel about chopping herbs. You gotta be gentle. You gotta be very suavecito with it, otherwise you're gonna damage it. We'll see how this Santoku knife holds up when we're just gently chopping herbs. Holds up pretty dang good, guys. Yeah, I'm barely even touching it. And it is just slicing right through this stuff. And again, one of the cool things about ordering a block of Knife Saga knives is it comes with that knife sharpener in the corner of that knife box. So you could really just never let them get dull. Hit them with that every time you're done and they will stay so sharp. So we are going to get these little stems because I love cilantro stems. Oh my gosh, look at that. See that cutting board? No green in the cutting board. But yeah, that's how you do herbs. So you don't want black in your cutting board. So now we got our cilantro. Our topping's kind of set. Been about 20 minutes of letting this guy just chill on top. Before we even open it, I'm gonna guess there's a lot of fat that's risen, a lot of liquid. Some people like to drain that fat, not me. I like to emulsify and incorporate it into like a nice silky smooth chili. So let me see how right I am right now. Whoa, so liquidy. Now we're just gonna start to slowly incorporate it all in. That, my friend, smells like wild game chili. Or my name isn't Chef Pat Boom Boom Dawson. All right, we're just about done. We'll give it a little taste-a-rooney. All right, so I've turned the heat off. All right, let's try this sucker. That is really good. We got chili. Now this is one of the funnest parts, you guys. We get to build our own. You put sour cream on it, different kinds of cheeses, different kinds of toppings. We used to do chicharrones. You gotta put on some generic corn chips first, all right? That's the way to go. Generic corn chips, some unbranded crispy jalapenos. This is one of my favorites. If you haven't tried crispy jalapenos on your chili, you're not living the right way. Ah, Knife Saga! So I'll put some crispy jalapenos. I personally put the cheese on top of all that. Because if you put it on top, right directly on the chili, I think it melts into one big clump. And I like to have my cheese spread around evenly, but you follow your own dang heart. Green onions and some fragging cilantro. And every great bowl of chili deserves a great hot sauce. There's only one hot sauce from cooking meat that we use, and it's Racha Sriracha. So of course we're gonna add a little drizzle of the Racha. We're gonna just Racha. There we go. Zippity doodah, zippity day. My oh my, it's kind of a chilly day. If you wanna make this a heartier meal, you can put it over rice, white rice. So good in white rice, mix it all together. Another great way to do it, make a baked potato, like a big baked potato, split that open, pour that chili in, all the same toppings. Oh, that's a chili potato. You can put it on French fries, you can put it on your burger. You can just have it straight bowl of chili like this, which is how I like it. So let's take a look. We already tasted it there, but let's taste it with all the toppings. Let's taste it just one big old scoop of everything. I'm so excited. I have not eaten yet today. This is gonna be so good. So good. Fucking hot, but so good. That is fantastic. The chili, perfectly seasoned, perfect chilliness. It's got a nice heat to it from that jalapeno that we threw in there. You get that tomatoiness, the soupiness without it being big old, like overpoweringly tomato. The beans work perfect, and then the toppings. The toppings are always the best. This is a great bowl of chili. Sunday morning in the winter, on a cold December Sunday morning, snow on the ground from the last night's blizzard, a little flurries of snow still coming down, a hot bowl of chili, the ice cold beer, your favorite football team about to play. Da-da-dun, da-da-da, da-da-dun, da-da-da, dun dun da-da-dun, dun da-da-dun, da-da-dun, bam 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 ba-da-da, da-da-dun, 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 da-da-da-da.